Good morning and welcome to our final Wolfcast of the year.
On today's show, we've got a story on a legacy built brick by brick.
Catch up with the top 3 things you need to know for today with Justin Bohr.
And don't miss out on meeting this week's spiky friend with Pet of the Week.
Plus, learn about next school year and whether or not students will be returning in person, and we've got all the info on a previously limited Whatburger menu item that's actually here to stay.
Also, now that summer is basically here, Victor Martinez has got us covered with our weekend, soon-to-be week destinations, and a tribute to our broadcast seniors.
Plus, Luke Johnson and Katie Whitmarsh have the scoop on this week's T-Wolf Sports, and you won't want to miss our hype video from Katie Whitmarsh.
Let's jump in because the last Wolfcast of the year starts now.
Good morning, Cedar Park. I'm Ella Neal, and I'm joined today by Abby Martinez and Luke Johnson. Guys, this is our final show of the year.
Our final show.
Y'all's final show.
Ours.
Not yours.
Abby, you still have 2 more years to show, so I guess this isn't as sad for you.
Gotta be LeBron in this program. You gotta carry the team on your back.
Yeah.
It's definitely been an interesting year, but a fun one for
We're
sure.
passing the torch down to you, Abby. We start our final show with a very special story about a very special person to CPHS, former dance director Stacy Danielson.
Since Stacy's passing in 2018, her legacy has carried on through a spring show in her honor and Leander ISD's latest middle school carrying her namesake.
Now, her parents are honoring her in a new way, brick by brick. Our producers Claire and Gigi have more on this special story.
Thanks, Abby. Gigi and I spoke with Stacy's father, Kirk Lawrence, about he and his wife, Sandy's determination to give back to those who were closest to their daughter. The Lawrences found an interesting way to say thank you to all those who had an impact on their daughter, with 300 bricks. Mrs. Danielson's parents were grateful for the decision to name the middle school after their daughter because it would keep her name alive forever.
We just knew we had to do something. We didn't know what. It just evolved. One day out of the blue, this brick fell out of the sky and hit me in the head, and I thought, bricks? There's lots of bricks at construction companies.
Once Mr. Lawrence had the idea of the bricks, the next step was getting them. After calling the superintendent, they had nearly 300 bricks in their possession. Mr. Lawrence cleaned up the bricks and decided on the design of the logos. Then, Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence decided on who they would be giving the bricks to. And finally, they were all ready for a new home with a special person who impacted their daughter's life.
I think it was amazing. I think it was actually better than we thought it would be. This is part of her school. So, and we explained to them that we're giving them bricks because they help influence who Stacy was. They help build who she is. And some of them, Stacy said, I want to be like that, And so those people, we would give a brick to it. It's pretty emotional.
Among those lucky enough to receive one of the bricks is Danielson Middle School's dance director, Kelly Mabry, a good friend of Mrs. Danielson's who also went to school with her.
This is something that is very special and that they give to people that they love, they cherish, and that, had a connection with Stacy. So just to be included in that group, it was emotional, but it was also very inspiring to know that, okay, I have a role here to play, and this break it's a thank you, but it's also kind of a charge going forward to look at it and to see it and to remember the purpose is bigger than just doing a job at school.
It's a reminder. It's just a reminder of the impact that Stacy made and that we can make as people and as educators, as part of the Cedar Park community, and how we treat each other and affect one another. And the fact that the school, that they named a school after her, just shows what an impact she had on the people in her lives and her life and the people in our community. And so it's just really a reminder of that. It's a reminder to kind of approach life the way that Misty did.
The project was not only a great way to give back to those who helped the Lawrences, but for the Lawrences themselves, the project was a significant part of the grieving process.
Well, I think it was a good project for Sandy and I to do, because it there'll never be closure, I don't think, when you lose a child, but it helped. It gave us a purpose, so to speak, of doing something that would keep her name and her. Well, of course, this school would keep her name forever, But it was therapeutic, I think would be the word.
Nearly 4 years after her death, Miss Danielson's legacy and the impact she left on those around her is still very tangible. And the bricks are just another reminder of the mark she left on our community.
And we're lucky enough to actually have one of the real bricks here with us today.
I love that. It's so special to the school, and I hope all of Miss Danielson's friends.
I know, and just how having like something like this in your possession, just having like that little piece of like sentiment and value is just very, very good.
It definitely means a lot.
Yeah. On a lighter note, as Texans, we all know and love Whatburger, as well as Dr. Pepper, which was born in Waco. Take a look to see how Whatburger's Dr. Pepper shake has come to stay. 2 years ago, Whatburger announced it would be releasing a Dr. Pepper shake for a limited time. In its trial run, it obviously had a lot of success, considering it is still a menu item to this day. Senior Luke Taylor gives his thoughts on the shake's stay.
As an avid Dr. Pepper lover myself, I love that they've kept this around on the menu for going on 2 years now, and it's become a main staple in the menu, and I'll continue to enjoy it for years to come if they keep it around.
Starting June 1st, masks will be optional indoors and outdoors in Leander ISD. That was a decision made by the school board last night. As more people receive COVID-19 vaccines every day, state governments and school districts across the nation have debated allowing a full return to in-person schooling. Recent lifts of restrictions regarding masks and social distancing in the state of Texas have left many hopeful to return to school for the first time in over a year. Dean of Instruction Jennifer Coleman explained what the current plans are for LISD.
The process that CPHS administration and LASD are working towards is a move towards full return to in-person learning. That is the plan with everyone back on campus. I am hopeful. I am looking forward to that. I think most of us are, but I think we've also learned blessed are the flexible. I think it depends on what the rest of the spring and summer bring for us.
Be sure to keep up to date with LISD and the Texas Education Agency over the summer to stay informed for next school year.
Next up, Justin Bohr has the top 3 things you need to know for today.
Good morning, Cedar Park High School. I'm Justin Bohr, and here are the top 3 things you need to know for today. First, tonight is the Cedar Park High School spring football game happening at our field. The activities start at 5 o'clock. Next, Texas Athletics are opening up all their outdoor games to 100% capacity. This happened after Governor Greg Abbott issued an executive order banning all government entities from requiring masks. This passed just in time for Texas baseball final regular season game. Finally, yesterday ACL released their lineup for the 2021 in-person festival. After the release of the lineup, 3-day tickets were sold out in hours. The lineup includes George Strait, Billie Eilish, Stevie Nicks, Miley Cyrus, DaBaby, Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, and Machine Gun Kelly. Thank you, and that's all I got for you is 3 things. I don't even get to say all my stories. Ayo. Oh, so how do y'all feel about ACL?
Thanks, Justin. I'm actually really excited for ACL. I was able to get a ticket before they sold out. Yeah. What about you guys? You guys going?
I don't really plan on going. I like the lineup, but actually, nah, just kidding. I don't.
Slander.
Wow, I like the lineup. I think it's gonna be very laid back. Maybe I'll, finally be able to wear a nice booty to ACL instead of flat shoes, sneakers. So I'm excited.
I'm thinking about getting a 1-day pass.
Okay. Yeah.
1 day.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll see you there. Looking for weekend plans, let's throw it over to Victor Martinez with this week's weekend destinations.
Thanks, Ella. First up, make sure to tune into CPHS Choir's first and last in-person concert of the year on their live stream on the CPHS Choir YouTube channel tonight at 7 to hear some great music from their various ensembles along with some solo acts and plenty of songs you know and love. Next, if you're looking for a chance to kick the summer festivities off a week early, head over to America's largest indoor water park, Kalahari Resort in Round Rock. The resort opened here in November, but it's finally getting some popularity as restrictions are lifted and local COVID numbers decline. And lastly, if you're looking for some relatively new food experiences here in Cedar Park, check out Aleida's Latin American Food. They have a restaurant on Little Elm and a food truck on Bell with some really great Venezuelan and Mexican foods. And those are your weekend destinations. Remember to stay safe out there. With CPHS News, I'm Victor Martinez. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Victor. Stay tuned because up next we've got our final sports report with Luke and Katie and a hype video showcasing all this year's sports. But first, this break.
Good morning, Cedar Park, and welcome back to the final Wolfcast Sports Report. I'm Luke Johnson.
And I'm Katie Whitmarsh. We have an exciting all-year sports recap and a hype video, so let's get into it.
Starting off with our state champions, the girls basketball team. Finished the season 25-1. That one loss being all the way back on November 13th.
One of the Lady Timberwolves' highest scoring games was a dub of 92 points that was won against Highlands in the second round of playoffs. Another highlight of the season for not only the team, but also everyone who came to watch was CP's 44-12 win over Georgetown in the regional finals.
It was an amazing season and the first state champion in the program's history. Great job, ladies, and we will see you guys next year.
Absolutely. And speaking of going to state, we watched our Cedar Park football team work their way all the way up to play at the AT&T Center in the state championship game.
The outcome of that game was not what we were hoping for, but up until that day, the Black Rain was undefeated with an overall record of 14-1. We started the season on a high note after beating Vandy 21-7, something we haven't seen in 2 years.
Score-wise, the season was like no other. Our highest scoring game was on October 23rd against Anderson when we won 82-0.
Some good news, football isn't completely gone. The Spring Jamboree is tonight at 5 p.m. at CPHS. Come out and enjoy some spring football before we take a break for the summer and we jump right back into the fall.
For cross country, Isabel Cohn de Frankenburn, Zoe Seaman-Gregory, Jack Woods, William Plotz, Gareth Hopwood, Jack Singleton, Casey Copley, Mark Lucas, and Matthew Wright all competed in the state and really outshined themselves. Special shout out to Isabel for winning first and winning Cedar Park's first cross-country state championship and setting a personal record.
Amazing job to everyone who competed. Track and field also had a list of athletes compete at state, including Isabella Cohn de Frankenberg, Nick Guelian, Megan Wilcox, Elmani Graham, and many more. Congrats to all the athletes for a great season.
Some more spring sports. Softball finished the season with 7 wins, 13 ties, 2 losses, beating Rouse twice with a final score of 13-5 and 8-1. Great run, ladies. Baseball season came to an end last night as they lost in the third round playoffs against Rouse 3-1. After riding a 10-game win streak, your Timberwolves finished the season with 31 wins, 6 ties, and 3 losses. Amazing job, boys. We'll see you next year.
Both girls and boys soccer had great runs this season. Starting with the boys, they finished the year in the third round of playoffs with a season record of 11 wins, 8 losses, and 5 ties. And for their girls soccer, our Lady Timberwolves advanced all the way up to the regional finals before falling to Dripping Springs. Their record was 20 wins, 7 losses, and 2 ties. Stellar job, ladies.
And finally, volleyball has had an impressive season, making it to the first round of playoffs and ending the year with 14 wins to 7 losses. Soon enough, we'll be right back in the gym watching those ladies dominate.
Well, that's all we have for you today. It's been a great year at Cedar Park Sports, and with CPHS News, I'm Luke Johnson.
And I'm Katie Whitmarsh. I will see you next year.
I'll be the last one standing, 2 hands in the air, I'm a champion. You'll be looking up at me when it's over. I live for the battle, I'm a soldier. Yeah, I'm a fighter like Rocky. Put your flag on your back like Ali. Yeah, I'm the greatest, I'm stronger. Bet my dues, can't lose, I'ma own ya. Hey, I've been working my whole life. Go ahead and put your bets on me. Hey, I've been waiting my whole life to see my name in lights. I am invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You're gonna know my name. You can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this. Yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion.
Born champion. The C is for the courage I possess through the drama. H is for the hurt, but it's all for the honor. A is for my attitude, working through the patience. Money comes and goes, the M is for motivation. Gotta stay consistent, the P is to persevere. The I is for integrity, innovative career. The O is optimistic, open and never shut. And the N is necessary, cause I'm never giving up. See, they ask me how I did it, I just did it from the heart. Crushing the competition, been doing it from the start. They say that every champion is all about his principles.
Hold on. Can we change the beat?
At 17, I wanted everything that was in store. At 23, I bought it all just to make sure. Racks in the, what? Racks in the safe. Look at my face. Up there with the greats. Steps that I take, you can't retrace. Young Metro on base. Me, I'm just base. Can't afford no mistakes. Everything just in case. Billboard where I play. They welcome me, I overstay. I'm a huncho, I'm the boss. My set taking off. Polo used to be Lacoste. Water used to be the tap, and not the balls. Damn, things changed. At 23, I bought it all just to make sure.
And now it's time for your pet of the week. For our final pet of the week, we have our associate producer, Gigi Munez's hedgehog, Boo. She loves to chill out and sleep in Gigi's pockets. Boo is also a very fast runner, so she would sometimes run into walls and chairs before noticing. Boo is also turning 2 years old this summer. Happy early birthday, Boo.
And now a special tribute for some very special seniors of 2021 made by the broadcast advisor, Mr. Garcia. Take a look.
The 2021 broadcast class is made up of some of the most talented students this program has ever had. And this class has also gone through the most challenging year this program has ever seen. But from Zoom to the studio, these seniors kept the Wolfcast on for their community. First-year seniors like Preston Scott and Sam Mack learn to adapt and find their place in an already new environment. Amelia Kaza provided thoughtful and original pieces to the Wolfcast, including her segment, Austin Eats. Brooke Meredith doubled her time at CPHS News as a reporter and the mastermind behind many of our professional motion graphics. Then there's Griffin, a soulful and positive light in the program who spent most of his time taking care of things behind the camera, but also energizing up and hyping up those in the studio. Nacho Miguel always brought passion and purpose to every story he covered for the Wolfcast. From the pandemic to mental health awareness, he gave students invaluable information. As a second-year staff member, Luke Johnson took his work to a whole new level this year as our sports director. He spent countless nights on the sidelines of games and brought a new kind of energy to our sports report. Texas Tech will be lucky to have him next year, and one day, ESPN will be too. Gigi Muniz is another second-year student who earned her way to become associate producer this year. Gigi has been a dedicated producer, meeting with staff on Zoom at all hours of the night to help them with their projects, while also putting out her own great reports. she has been the heart of broadcast this year. Another essential but behind-the-scenes senior, Travis Weir. While he never agreed to be on camera, I did get at least one picture of him. Travis truly saved the day for the Wolfcast many times. No Friday Wolfcast would be complete without John Pay. For 3 years, John has produced one of the show's most popular segments.
Your pet of the week.
But on top of that, he was also able to cover some of this year's most important stories. John has always been a dependable and honest reporter. Brody Bush is someone in this program we could always count on to make us smile, laugh, and bring a dose of positivity to our countless Zoom meetings. He could also be found alongside Connor on one of our most popular Wolfcast segments ever, Dr. Love.
Best thing to remember and do on Valentine's Day is to have fun.
Speaking of Connor, while Connor wasn't always the best at giving love advice, he was one of the best at tech. He remains one of the most kind and hardworking students I have ever met. His dedication to CPHS news and work ethic was unmatched this year. Then there's Victor Martinez. Victor has brought countless skills to our program as a young and award-winning filmmaker. He has been the go-to for staff help on editing and filming. Victor was also smart and well-spoken on our weekly segment, The Pack Chat, always providing insights and entertaining commentary. One person I'm just not sure how we will survive without next year is Elizabeth Kors. She has been the rock of our program as assignment editor, keeping both the class and, let's be honest, the advisor, in check and organized. She also managed to put together great stories and segments, including Cooking with Claire. On top of being a great cook, Claire Millay has spent the last 2 years in this program as associate and then executive producer. Claire has radiated positivity in a year with so many negatives. She has been an excellent leader and motivator for this team. She has grown into a wonderfully strong leader. One of the most energetic and entertaining people in broadcast over the last 3 years has certainly been Justin Bohr, also known as J Money. He has brought humor and laughter to our staff through his segments like Hungry Hungry Houston and his banter at the anchor desk.
Car,
right.
Wow. Scooter?
Yeah.
Okay. Flying into the car.
Finally, the Wolfcast longest serving anchor, Ella Neal. Ella joined broadcast as a sophomore after she left FFA and quickly rose to the position of anchor. Ella was a natural for the desk with personality and confidence that helped us win state last year.
Like, why don't I have a boyfriend on Valentine's Day?
Ella is leaving big shoes to fill for our future Wolfcast anchors. Overall, this class will be deeply missed, but they are leaving behind an even deeper legacy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been my privilege to be your broadcast advisor. No matter where you go after this, I will always be rooting for you.
I loved it.
No, yeah, I love that
I think they
halftime show.
killed it. They killed it.
Thank you for that wonderful tribute, Mr. Garcia. And now we have a special tribute of our own. Katie?
So for everyone that doesn't know, Mr. Luke Johnson, our sports director and anchor, is an amazing human being. Very much my mentor, my big brother in broadcast, and I'm very much going to miss him next year. He's such a fun person to hang out with, especially in the car. He has some very good jams on the way to football games.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, DaBaby is one of them, which just gets on my nerves, but it's the reason why I love him so much. Luke, I know you're going to do great things next year, and I'm not going to cry when you leave because I'm going to tough it out, but I'm very much going to miss you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Katie, you're definitely, I told you last night, but the sports position is in the best hands possible for the next 2 years. You too, you do. You got a good anchor. You guys got a good anchor. So you guys may have lost a lot of senior luggage this year, but it's gonna build its way back up. Probably be even bigger.
And Miss Ella Neal, you've been
Oh no.
someone just really really just been there for me the past 2 years.
I
really enjoyed getting to just learn from you, and thanks for taking me home all the time. And driving me. And I'm really gonna miss you next year.
Stop, my little mini me. Abby. No, you're the best person that will lead this program, my little mini me, little girl boss. Abby. Now it's your turn.
And I'm excited to see what you're gonna do in New York, and you're gonna have so much fun. And Luke, same for you. Gonna do great things at Tech, and I'm just gonna miss you a lot. The test definitely won't be the same, but very much.
We love you guys a lot. Geez, now I'm getting emotional. That's all we have for you today. Make sure you keep up with all of our content on our YouTube at CPHS News.
For more sports content, follow our Twitter at CPHS_sports.
We've loved sharing our stories with you this year, but we'll see you back next year, Cedar Park.
Thanks for taking time to join us this morning.
With CPHS News, I'm Luke Johnson.
I'm Abby Martinez.
I'm Katie Whitmarsh.
And I'm Ellen Yule. Before we go, I want to welcome up the rest of our senior class. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys. 3, 2, 1.
Remember to make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.